had lost their own Trump. That they were the handlers of Hussein Jr. would have him to do such a flagrant act. All right, this witch hunt they got going on, that shows you that there's not gonna be anything there. There's not anything there. It shows you that there's not anything there. It shows the more they try to discredit Trump, the more it shows that there's nothing there. You know, um, the Washington Post, okay, they're jumping right back on the discredit Trump bandwagon, saying cite no evidence, and then they cite the evidence for him with the intelligence community. They bring it up further down, saying that Trump has been feuding with the intelligence community since before he took office. He's been feuding with them. How about they've been feuding with him? All right, tapping his hotels. You know, and it said, Trump has been building. What did he say about like he's initiating controversy? You know, and ever since he gave his speech to Congress the other day, you guys have been relentlessly jealous at the 70, high 80% approval ratings of the populace towards that. I guess the Russian hacked that opinion as well. Some type of Russian manipulation caused the American people to support Trump's recent speech to Congress by 80%. I guess Russia was something to do with that, because immediately after that occurred, the media went in overdrive, shifting the narrative to Jeff Sessions, someone who, from my perspective, is giving up power by leaving all those powerful committees in the Senate position in Alabama to do the measly attorney general post. So,
So
who's
y'all just
creating the
gonna let you stay at
controversy?
my house for as many days as you can, and then by the time that's up, I should be in the Countess of place. Because that's not gonna be long. Then I gotta put my stuff up in Cassandra crib. So even while I'm, you know what I'm saying, just, I'm gonna work the shit out.
I don't know about all that, but
Oh, what, man?
I mean, you don't like my living situation. I like my situation. You know,
So you would rather sleep at the homeless shelter than in the bed by yourself
I sleep in the bed by myself.
at my house?
I don't like to be, you know, I don't like for. I'm not trying to be in a situation where I'm told I'm ungrateful if I don't agree with other
You
things.
won't be. However, I was just suggesting a better thing that I thought.
But then we'll talk about this later. I'm addressing this the political climate. Uh,
I'm ready to understand.
yeah, it's been a practice. It has been a practice. It has been his practice, according to Mr. Rucker and Mrs. Nakashima and Mr. Costa. Ellen, this is Japanese. You're involved with such rhetoric. Who wrote this aspect that it has been a practice. It has long been his practice to stir up new controversies, to deflect attention from a damaging news cycle such as the one in recent days about Sessions in Russia. No, I mean, if he's wise enough to have a counterpunch with his media platform with the executive office, that's wisdom in anticipating how you guys. He was trying to take the high road in his patience with Obama, but if you guys want to come out and attack his agenda for the American people with witch hunts on Jeff Sessions for speaking with world communities, if you have a confidence in your campaign of success, you're supposed to be communicating. I'm pretty sure he spoke with the Japanese ambassadors and a host of other ambassadors of nations The China, you're so caught up with this Asia pact, this globalization that's associated with that. I'm reading the USA Today, and they're talking about the leadership of China, which is commendable as far as with the railroad that they're going to base that's going to cut travel times from Mombasa to Nairobi. I like that. I applaud that. When we look at the numbers, we saw that the U.S. is still outspending on economic investments in other nations. It was 300 something billion to not even 200 billion there of China. I would hope that it's for improving the way of life of these countries that we're investing towards, and not just imperialism that's described as globalism. That railroad doesn't sound like imperialistic measures any different than the Chinese assistance with the railroads here in the U.S. I don't think that was a form really of imperialistic measures from China towards the U.S. I believe it aided U.S. development. And so, I mean, that was cited as something as being that Trump is they try to they're trying to, in that narrative, the way in the context that the USA are describing that, is that Trump is bad for the economy because he's not speaking on those type of investments. Okay, now if he'd have been with that being said, as far as that context and them praising China's development and saying he's not doing that, if he would have said that he's communicating with communist China's ambassador, I bet the same media wouldn't have any problem with that. And I'm pretty sure that there was communication with China. There is the ambassador to China now from Iowa. Has a great relationship with China. So speaking of world leaders does not mean that you're compromising or being a foreign agent for these nations. It's anticipating initiatives that you're going to put in play that's going to benefit the country that we're communicating with as well as us. Okay, so to insinuate then that Sessions, someone who's as a senator, a ranking senator with all these committees, these powerful committees, is somehow an agent because within the capacity of his work he has to speak with foreign nations, that's a witch hunt. He's expected to communicate with other nations because of the office. All right, but the media immediately shifted when they saw those poll numbers towards Trump's leadership. They immediately shifted to bashing his cabinet, and that's doesn't do anything for the U.S. people. It doesn't do anything constructive for our development, for the unifying of the nation that you keep constantly calling divided, because you're catering to the division with this fake news. And if Obama, we're seeing, I'm disappointed with the Obamas. I was trying to recently, towards the end of the presidency of Obama, I was looking for affirmations that I could speak of, that a whole us, as far as black people in this context of the discussion, us accountable for is things that we can do, or even American people. We talk about healthcare, they got the garden. If you do that, and they hit the gym, you're doing those preventative methods, then you're handling your healthcare. Okay, you make your healthcare affordable if you're doing those types of things at any age. I was reading a book when I was falsely incarcerated last year, 2016, the beginning. It was a doctor. I think it was a reverse diet, and he was talking about doing different aspects of these diets, preventative measures of dieting, preventative measures of exercise, and how to reverse some of these high cholesterol rates, and heart disease and so forth. And those are the type of things that need to be done in healthcare. Okay, but and I was getting on people about not following the example with Obama and them doing that. Obama now is being used in this narrative, and they're willingly participating in this media narrative to refurbish the reputation of George W. I served under George W. during my naval enlistment. I'm not a fan of the Iraqi Enduring Freedom war, Enduring Freedom campaigns, Iraqi Enduring Freedom campaigns. I'm not a fan of those initiatives. Okay, but if Barack Obama is going to resuscitate his, this flawed administration, the least she can do is have respect for a promising reputation that can continue change that he was supposed to have been talking about. Only thing he really did, mostly when you really assess it, is contain. I said, okay, he saved a bunch of you guys' lives because World War III didn't pop off. Okay, all right, but you wasn't able to enact the change on the offensive effort that Trump is commencing within his first 100 days. He's commencing change from an offensive point of view by protecting our trade rights and not selling us out our labels so that we're losing trade opportunities, and that's heroic. And so why not aid who you are the predecessor of based on what your inabilities was, and you better assess it as you being incapable of. I see his spokesperson, Obama, say he don't like to be reactionary. His spokesperson don't have anything to say. You had something to say about his executive order towards immigration. You fundamentally disagree against that. All right, you don't want to be reactionary. You was reactionary with that, but you're not reactionary with Trump, with his counterpunch on you guys attacking his cabinet. No counterpunch on that. Okay, you're trying to, you got Michelle hooked up with W. She said she was being watching Scandal. All right, all you black folk, you supposed to be against George Bush, but he showed you how he can give you another character and you'll worship him, as we're doing with this disgusting Scandal series, demonstrating the power of Miss Rice. If the narrative is right that I'm hearing, all right, this powerful had to be made Secretary of State. How powerful? They can't show you that aspect within the sitcom or whatever it is. I haven't seen one episode of it, but they're describing what I'm hearing as her being the concubine. But look at the power. She's 100 times more smarter than Mr. W. But she can eloquently give the rationale for it. Doesn't convince anyone that it's of righteousness, but still, she could put the language behind it. And this is why she was made Secretary of State, and this is unbecoming of her capabilities. But she said, whoever the big pimp, that's where I'm rolling. I'm rolling with big pimping. And George W. is demonstrating big pimping with Michelle, and all you other people who are fans of this disgusting show. He's demonstrating big pimping. He's demonstrating out there. You got the thing going on Facebook, how somebody walk out the brother walking out the courtroom with all the sisters on his side with the, what I'm saying, the Superfly scene. That's what George W. doing with Obama's wife and Miss Rice.
Come on, baby.
Here I come in the shop.